Hey guys, 2.5 months later, I have a World War II book update. Obviously, people have been waiting. They want to know. This has been a very long, complicated process. I am on my way right now to my attorney's office to meet with representatives from the Chinese government and donate them the album. So that took place earlier this afternoon. I had to keep it very under wraps, and obviously I've not been talking about the subject at all because I have been told by my attorney I can't talk about it, but now I finally can. There's quite a lot I want to say. I don't have a lot of time here on TikTok. I wrote a letter to the representatives who flew out to meet me, and it's a letter to China at large, and I posted it on my Twitter. I'd like you guys to take a look at it. I also posted it on my Instagram. So now the book is donated and I can open up about it. What were my findings? Is the book authentic? So unfortunate about this whole thing is within 24 hours of me posting that video, this negative false narrative had taken off on social media that I staged the whole thing as a hoax and I was using a war crime to get famous. You guys might remember some of my early updates before I had to retain an attorney, and he told me I absolutely had to stop posting about this until it was done. I had several people at museums and several high-up academics in the field of history ready to look at it. They all ghosted me because of the controversy. They all thought that I was faking it. Some of them wouldn't even return my phone calls. It took a few weeks. I finally did get some people to look at it. Even still, despite the fact that they thought most of the photos were genuine, they still refused to put their name on it. I can't get anyone to put their name on this with rendering an opinion. Here is what I learned. I made a mistake. There are not photos from Nanking. There are photos from Shanghai. Most, if not all, of the violent photos are reproduction souvenirs. That said, they are top-notch quality. Most souvenir photos are really beat up, and these are the highest tier. But they're probably all reproductions. Even still, the book contains hundreds of photos, and most of them are real. There's a long YouTube video I just posted explaining everything, going into way more detail, start to finish. You guys get to hear and see all this. I've been filming this entire time. You guys, this was crazy. I was getting threats against my life. I was getting threats against my business. The simple fact is, I am a human, and I made a mistake. But to assess this heinous accusation that a mistake had all these malicious intents behind it, and I was plotting this out like a Bond villain, is so hurtful and just not true. The simple fact is, I wouldn't have a letter of acknowledgement commending my actions from the Chinese government if I had done a bad thing. They're even so kind as to give me this beautiful porcelain vase. The one thing I want you all to remember at the end of this is, as the legions of the woke white cancel culture were demanding my head and wheeling out guillotines and calling me a bastard and threatening my life and my business and putting me through the worst hell of my life, the actual people who were the victims of the genocide issued me a letter of acknowledgement, said thank you. I donated the book to China not just because it is Chinese history, but because Chinese people stood up for me. Thank you everyone who did. I'll never forget it.